Yeah, yabona ukuba umuntu kulukhuni. Impilo nje kalova inzima ngendlela esimanga, but nakhona into eyenza ukuthi kube lukhuni kakhulu is that yazi man kunezinto ezenzeka phambi kwakho uyibuka and you want to tell black people to watch out for this and this and this and this, but kuyafana mos, kuyafana. Even mhlampe bengakuzwa laba bakuzwayo, there's really nothing they can do. Isimanga nje sikusona sabantu ukuthi we're in a very awkward position where we can't intervene and protect our people ngale ndlela esifisa ngayo. It's really bad. So yeah, there's a lot of spitty pitties ezenzakalayo. And I've been saying here for more than a week, more than 2 weeks actually, if not 3, ukuthi lento yokuba umuntu omnyama iyinkinga because ngiyeza ngiyanyelela. Something is creeping up on you and most of you cannot see. It's very unfortunate. Uzokhumbula kudala ukuthi ngathi it looks like kuzomele kube nosiko oluthize engizolenzela laba abathathwa ngemkhumbi bayovunisa ukotini mahala lapha. And lezi ngane uyabona nje ukuthi umqondo ulimele kakhulu kuzo. You know, if you remember when you started, I think it was the first few utterances I made here via YouTube. There needs to be a ceremony that needs to be done somewhere on the Chattanooga or Chattahoochee River, somewhere there. So kuyayiveza ke manje ukuthi just how important that is going to happen, that ceremony is going to be. Ukuze kulapheke laba bantu labantu. And uyabona ukuthi iserious into eyenziwa kubona ngale nje kokushawa, ukuhlukunyezwa, nokulengiswa kabuhlungu, the lynching, all these things ezimbi esayibona. You know, someone was extracting a smaller clip about a history of how they used to punish slaves in the plantation. You know, very gruesome, very terrifying things that uyimbuzo ukuthi la belungu lezi zinto ababezenza kumuntu babeyicabange phi, bezicatshangiswa yini. You know, it's like they were possessed by something. And lento abapossessile, esabapossessile namanje, by the way, ayimfuni umuntu. Imzonda ngendlela le eyisimanga. And it's problematic here ngoba umuntu yena does not recognize ispirit esikumuntu lo enithi umhlophe ukuthi isitha lesi silapha kuya akusoze kwaba khona umngane. It's a very sad thing. And I'm saying these things ngoba kuyagqilaza knowing ukuthi you have these tasks to do. But what is even more disheartening is knowing that there's literally nowhere I can go and say, hey, listen, I need to go and do this for my people right now. There's nowhere where I can say, let's make this happen now. Putum. And there are some people that have been suggested that I try and work with, but I feel like I came in too late. Ngoba sebegugile labo bantu. And uyabona ngambuka nje umoya ngathi I know segugile umkhehlazi. And you don't even know ukuthi uzoqala ngaphi ngoba if someone is that gugile and going to their senility, it becomes difficult to work with them, especially with this energy that is required. All this traveling that I'm still owing and needing to do, because you need that person to be at the particular space in their wits, Nakhona, most of the people, you still need to break down udonga le self-hatred. Ngoba the reality is asizithandi. And bambalwa abantu abanthandayo abantu bami. Phakathi nje wenu, I'm definitely not going to go and speak to some white people or Indian people or whatnot. I'm never going to do that. That's not going to happen. I'm never going to go to our enemies to try and get some money so that I can do things for abantu abanyama. Ngamane donse nje bakudonsa isikhathi eside kanje. Because it's not even a matter of principle. You can't go to people who hate you. Kansenzani lana? If I'm going to have to go to people who hate us and say, hey, give me some money, I want to go to the Chattahoochee River there. Hey, uyokwenzani? I want to do this thing for abantu bami laba abathathwa ngemkhumbi laphana. And these people are very aware of these arcane things. So they're like, So it's very sad that there's no one that one can go to and say, hey. And it's not a matter of the lack of abantu abamnyama who are wealthy and rich. Akhona. They just hate black people. They just hate us. They just hate us. Some of them even worse than our enemies. They just hate us. It's bad. Now you go and see izinto ezenzakalayo njengamanje. I've been following this thing, FBAs, babiza ngama freed black Americans. They are trying to make this distinction amongst themselves being black and the people who came from Africa via ships. They say, well, actually, we are the Copa people who were aboriginals. And there's black African who come here into America they say we are tethering to tether and benefit out of their struggle. Okay. So you're trying to follow what they're exactly they're trying to say. The only thing you are hearing is that no, we are trying to make. They are literally trying to make a line, a distinction between themselves and African immigrants, or anyone who associates with the Africanism, black African American, what. So they are saying now they are not African Americans. And indlela engibuka ngayo mina, I'm saying, oh, okay, this is definitely in response to how the white people are moving now with their obsession with deporting immigrants. So these ones who were there before the 1900s, because I think they think this thing has to do with who was there. So they call themselves foundational Black Americans, they say, FBAs. So they are trying to say we are the original Americans here, trying to argue a point ukuthi they have claim, they are the beyond what the Indians are supposed to be, because there's a story about Indians, you see all kinds of strange theories that they're coming up with, like the claim is the white people who brought black people there falsified the registers and documents, and they get caught up in the mix of the N-word and black people being used interchangeably. It's bad, but again, it's the response to the fact that there's a push out that is happening in America. And this push out, I think they can sense once they are done with the Hispanics, they're coming for blacks. And that's the reality. Definitely one thing for sure is that white people everywhere, wherever they are, they don't want black people in their community. So where they feel they can agree with each other amongst themselves, let's kick out black people out of this country, they can, being the majority that they are in America. So they are going to definitely target black people. And the thing about it is, when they target black people, these ones who are FBA are hoping they are going to be able to be identified as the ones that can stay, and the ones who are African then can go back to Africa. The idea that, well, because we are foundational here, we can't trace our history all the way back, we have to stay here. And it speaks to a very strange mental retardation issue, where you find that abantu bakithi imagine that they can reason out of racism, when history has taught us time and time again that you cannot reason your way out of it. Once they have decided we don't want to, they are not going to be listening to a reasoning because of that reason, because of this reason. No. So what's coming for them is that they're going to be kicked out indiscriminately. And they're hoping that they won't get to that. And if it does happen, hope not, if it does happen, they are in no way ready to defend themselves, because as much as they love to call make a distinction between themselves and Africans, unfortunately, they tend to be very much the same. While everyone is busy building up their communities, setting up their communities and running their communities in every sense of the word, Africans have not been doing that. We have not learned from the hatred and the abuse that we got from other people over hundreds and thousands of years, such that we are in no position to defend our community. Should these people decide to have at it again, they will do it without resistance, because we have not built up a security cluster. We have not built up a community security. We have not built up an economy. We have not built up anything. So it looks like it's going to head in the direction. And, I feel sorry for them, and I hope they realize that it's not going to help them to try and create a new narrative about themselves. And, the sad part about it is we know, we understand. Black people don't want to be black. We know. Especially the ones in America. They just, yeah. They would rather be anything but black. We just don't want to be black. That's why we come up with this thing. Oh no, we are Africans. Hey. We just don't want. We would rather be anything than what we are. Because if we accepted our blackness and rallied behind our blackness, we would probably be the most powerful thing on this planet. We have the capacity to be the most powerful community ever. And if black is a thing that you associate with death, and if black people got together and decided, okay, let us solidify our proximity to death, who can touch black people? Because it will be clear to anyone, if we could prove that we are very good buddies with death, or even if we prove that maybe he's our father or our brother, what have you, who would touch black people? Because nobody wants to die. If people of the world knew that if you mess with those ones, death would come for you. And even if we said maybe darkness, we took the attribute of darkness and we said, okay, we are people of darkness. If you touch us, it will be dark on this planet, or darkness will come to you. If we rallied together and banded together and solidified that situation or that premise of darkness, we would touch black people. Of course, they would think twice about it. But they are going to touch us again. Hopefully they don't, I think. But I don't trust their reasoning capacity. I don't trust their ability for compassion. History has taught us that they don't really have that, not towards black people at all. So we are there, and we are at a very strange and delicate balance at this moment. And from what I can see, tragedy is coming. Tragedy is coming for these FBAs, as they call themselves. But it's not something I can say it's just for them. It's for all of us. Because when they say immigrants, really, what they are talking about is black people. Honestly speaking, if we were being honest, would understand this. When they say immigrants, they mean black people. And this phenomena is not even just a matter with America at this moment. It's not just America. You are seeing it in Japan. You are seeing it in the UK as well. It's bubbling under there. This is also sections of France. So you get to see the way the French people are analyzing the situation, and it's going to be a thing that's going to push out Macron. And if Macron resigns, I think Marine Le Pen will come in. And if Marine Le Pen comes in, then you have a very hardlining right-wing French government. And it's not helping that you are having the Sahel region kicking the French troops out and dissociating itself from France. So chances are France is going to be the first point where there's going to be a very serious push out of black folks. Never mind Israel, because Israel did that long time ago. But the bottom line is here. Black people, really, you don't have a choice. At this point in time, all of you, everywhere, we should be rallying behind our blackness and organize ourselves in such a way that we can build security for ourselves. If you get what I'm saying. We need to be able to deal with any threat to our people and race by ourselves without crying to anyone. If people come to us and say, we must also be able to say back.